Hello guys, this is Supriya and I'm back again with another video on Core Java series, and today's topic is class and object. So we will be seeing more about class and object in this video. I have already covered few important points about class and objects in previous sessions. Okay, so that was part 1 and this is part 2. So we will know more about class and objects in this video. So let's start. What I'll do, I'll just write a small program first. Okay, this is my package Java Basics, and inside this package I'll create a class. Okay, this is how I'll create a class, and I'll name this class as say I'll call this class as employee. Okay, so this is my employee class, and I will select the main method here and say finish. So I have my package Java Basics. This is my employee class, okay, and this is my main method. Okay, now I'll just write a small piece of code here. Okay, just give me a moment. So I'll just declare a variable first. I'll say int employee name equals, okay, this is int value. Okay, so I'll say int employee age equals, say it's 23. Okay, and I'll say string employee name equals, so it's a string value, so I'll just write it inside the double quotes and I'll say Supriya. Okay, and every statement in Java should end with semicolon. Okay, now I'll leave my main method empty for now, and I'll just create a method over here. Now this is the user defined method that I will be creating. Okay, so I'll say this is how I create a method. I'll say void is a return type. We will know about return type in future videos, so don't worry about that. Okay, for now just understand how to create a method. So we can have the access modifier here. Say I'll just name it as public. Okay, we have already seen videos on access modifiers, so I'll say public. This is the return type that we will study in future videos, and I'll just name my method as employee salary, or let's say employee details. And since it's a method, it should be having open and closing parentheses and opening and closing curly braces. Okay, so this is my method, and I'll write a small statement inside this method. If I want to show something on console, I have the code line of code as system.out.println. Okay, so this code or command will print the value given inside this method on your console. Okay, so let me just write any sentence here. Say welcome to employee class. So this is the simplest program that I have written just to make you understand. More you understand about core Java, more you will be able to write complex programs. So initially I'll be just writing simplest programs, and then as and when we will learn more about core Java, we will write complex program as well. Okay, so this is my method employee details. Inside this method I want to print welcome to employee class on my console, and these are my variables. Okay, employee age is int type variable and its value is 23, and this is another string variable, employee name, its value is Supriya. Okay, now let me run this program and see if the variables and this println statement gets printed on the console or anything happens. Okay, just a moment. So let me just run this program and check. Okay, see, nothing happened. Okay, I have the main method, I have the variables, okay, I have the method, and I have also written the println statement to print this sentence on console. Then why didn't, after executing the program, my result got printed on console? That's because these variables and this method was not accessed. Okay, in order to access these variables of this class employee, in order to access this method employee details of this class employee, we would need to create the object of this class inside the main method. Okay, why inside the main method? Because JVM will first look for main method. In fact, it will only look for main method and it will only execute the code written inside the main method. Okay, so the main method starts from here till here. Okay, and whatever you write inside the main method will be executed by JVM. Okay, so that is the reason when I ran this program, nothing happened. Like JVM entered into the program, it found the main method, but this main method is empty. Okay, it overlooked, it didn't even care what's there outside the main method. Okay, so in order to access these variables of this class or the methods of this class, we would need to create first the object inside the main method, because main method is the entry point of for JVM to enter, okay, into the program. So how will you create? Now we know that why we would need to create the object. Now we will understand how to create the object. Okay, so to create the object, we will write the employee class name. We will just write any reference variable name. So let's say I'll write emp equals to, and then I'll say new. I'll explain you what does it mean. Okay, okay, so now what this line is doing. Okay, so let's go line by line. So by writing employee class and the reference variable, we are declaring the object of the employee class, and we are giving the name of the object as emp. Okay, I'll repeat. By writing this line employee, this class name employee, and the and any word say reference variable, so I have used here emp. So by writing this line of code, I am declaring the object of the class employee. Okay, and the moment I write equals to new employee, what will happen is, the moment I write, now new is a keyword. Okay, so if you I'll just show that screenshot here. Can you see this under miscellaneous? we have new keywords. It is also a reserved word in Java library. It's a predefined word, okay? So it has some meaning, okay? So we have learned what are keywords. If you want to learn it again, just go back and watch my video on keywords. So new is a reserved word in Java library, and what new keyword does is it will allocate the Java memory to the employee object. Okay, so I'll just show you with the help of a diagram. Consider that this is a Java memory. Okay, this is a Java memory. Okay, and the moment you write employee emp, okay, the reference variable emp to the object. Now this is the object. Okay, so if I write new employee, so new, what new will do? It will allocate the Java memory to this object, employee object. Okay, and already we have this emp reference variable created in Java memory like this. This will be addressing this object, which is the employee object. So don't get confused that it's a name of the object. EMP is not the name of the object. When you write new employee, it will allocate the memory to the employee object, but this, while declaring employee emp, will create the reference variable as emp, which will be referring to this object. That means if you want to find out the address of this object, which is of employee class type, then emp is the address for that. Okay, so emp is the address to this object of employee class. And when you write this line of code, this is the constructor. About the constructor, we will learn in the next few videos because it's a detailed topic. So we will definitely see more about constructor. But for now, just understand that new will allocate the Java memory to the object of employee class. And if you write this code, a constructor is created. Okay, it's nothing but the object. Okay, and the values that are there inside this class, these variables and its values, can you see, and the methods, okay, everything gets stored inside that memory. So I'll just go back here. So all this int, whatever you have, methods or variables like int employee name, employee age, and its value Supriya, the age 23, the employee method emp details, and the line of code, everything gets stored here in the object of employee class. Okay, to access these properties like variables and objects of which are stored inside this object, we need the reference of this object. And who is the reference of this object? EMP. Okay, so this is the whole idea of writing this line of code. So this is how you create the object. You have to first write the class name and the reference variable. So you're declaring, this is how you say it in Java programming. When you are writing the object, this line of code which is there on the left hand side of equal sign is set to be declaring the reference variable or declaring the object reference variable. Or you can also say that this is the instance of the object. So EMP is instance of the object, meaning it is representing the object. Or you can also say that it is the reference variable of the object. Or you can also say that It is the address of the object. An object is of what type? Employee class type. Okay, and when you write this new employee, a Java memory will be allocated to the object. And if you write new employee, you say it that you have initialized the object. Okay, see guys, you need to understand these terms. I'll be using these terms in future videos, so you need to understand what is meant by declaring the object, declaring the variable, or initializing the object, or initializing the variable. So that is why I'm going slow, so that you understand it very carefully. Okay, so this is how we create the object. Now we want to, and also we have seen that all the attributes or the properties like int age, name, everything got stored inside the object. And in order to access the values and the variables or the methods, we make the use of this reference variable. Okay, and how to access them? I will just say emp, and to access, suppose I want to access this method employee detail, so I'll just write the reference variable of that object or instance of the object dot. Okay, now the moment I typed dot, I can see that it is giving me the option employee details, and it is also giving me employee age. It is also giving me the option employee name. And if you can see here, employee age is of int type, and it's there in the employee class. See, this is how you read. Employee name variable is of string type, and it is there in the employee class. My employee details is not returning any value, so it is void, and it is there in the employee class. Okay, see, void we will understand in future videos, so that I have not covered so far, so don't worry about that. So what I'm doing here is I'm accessing the method. So I just use this address of the object emp. Okay, and this is which object? Employee object. Okay, and I want to access this method emp details. So I have used this instance of the object dot employee details. Okay, now when I'll run this, now I should be able to see this sentence, because JVM will see a main method, and whatever is there inside the main method, it will execute. So first JVM will enter the main method, and it will see this line of code, and it will understand that okay, I have to create the object. So it will create the object inside the Java memory, and all these values, variables and methods inside the class employee will be stored in this object. So this part is set to be object, and this part is set to be the address of that object. And this is the name of the reference variable, which is giving the address of the employee object, or you can also say that it is the instance of the object. Okay, and in order to access these methods inside the employee class, we have to use the reference variable or instance of this employee object. So what is my reference variable? It is emp, and to access this method, I'll say emp dot emp details, and since it is a method, I'll write the opening and closing parentheses. And now it will I'll just run this program and check if this is displaying this. So what will happen is, first JVM will create the object, and it will access this employee details method, and it will check what is there inside this employee details. It will see that okay, this line of code is written inside the employee details method, and then it will print welcome dot employee class, and since there is nothing after this, it will end the program. Okay, so let's run this and check. See, now you can see welcome to employee class. Now this is how you access the method. Now what if I want to access the value of this variable employee age and the value of this variable employee name? Okay, so I'll inside the main method itself, I'll just write system.out.println statement, because I want to print my values here on console. So I'll just write now again, in order to access these variables, I'll make the use of the reference variable. Okay, because these values are there inside the employee class object. Okay, so I'll use the reference variable of the employee class object. Okay, so I'll say emp dot, and see, it's the moment you write dot, it's giving me the option to select anything from this pop-up window. So I'll just select, I want to print emp8, so I'll select this emp8, and I'll also write another statement. So I'll say system.out.println again, and I'll write, this time I'll write this. So let me just not copy this. I'll say emp dot employee name. Okay. Now what it will do, JVM will first enter into this main method. It will run this first code, and here what it will do, it will create the reference variable for the object of employee type. It will now here in this line of code, it will allocate the memory to the object of employee type, and when it will come here, it will see that okay, I have to call this method emp details method. So it will go inside the emp details method, and it will see okay, I have to print this, then it will print this welcome to employee class, and then it will come here and it will see okay, I have to print emp.empage. So what is empage? It will come here and it will see okay, the value of empage is 23, and I have to print this, so it will print the value of empage. Then it will come here and it will see okay, what is there inside the emp name. So it will come here and it will check okay, Supriya is there inside the emp name, and then it will, now there's nothing after this, so it will end here. Java compiler will run stop running the program. Okay, so let's run and check if we are getting the correct output. Okay, I'll just expand this. Okay, can you see? First it printed welcome.employee class, then it printed 23, and then it printed Supriya. Now what if I want to initialize these variables? Okay, I have initialized these variables here itself. Okay, when I say initialize, what do I mean? Till here int emp age, I'm declaring the int variable, and the moment I write equals to 23, I'm initializing the emp age, and the same thing here. Okay, but I just want to remove this. Okay, so now what I'll do, I'll just remove this. So now I have just declared this integer variable. Here also I have declared the string variable, and I want to assign the value to these variables. In other words, I want to initialize these variables. Then how do I do that? So I can use the reference variable of the object of employee class to do that. Okay, so let me just do that. What I'll do, I'll say obj, emp dot employee age, okay, equals to, I'll say 23, and here I'll say emp dot emp name equals to Supriya, or I'll just give another name. So I'll say any name, say Govind. Okay, and here I'll give another value, say 10 years or 19 years. Here I have to put the semicolon, and now I want to print these values. Okay, so let's run this program. So what it will do, it will first create the object here, and using the reference variable of the object, I'm calling this method. So it will print this statement, welcome to employee class, and then it will come here and it will check, okay, the emp age is, let me just assign 19 to emp age variable, which is of int type, and let me also assign Govind to emp name variable, which is of string type, and then it will come here to print these values, and then it will end the program. Okay, so let's run this. So see, it printed, let me just expand this. Okay, so see, it printed welcome to employee class, and then it printed 19 years, and then it printed Govind. Now what if I want to access the method or the variables or any other property of the different class? Okay, so I have this class, employee class here, okay, which I just created, and I explained you how to access the variables of employee class. But what if I want to access the properties of any other class? Okay, let's say identifiers. So this class I had created in previous session. So consider that I want to create, I want to access this emp salary details method. So JVM should be printing this line of statement, which is, this is another class. Okay, so how would I do that? Can I just go inside the employee class, and inside this main method, using this reference variable of employee class, can I access the properties of identifiers class? Let's see. So what was that method name? Emp salary details. Now this method is there inside the identifiers class, and I'm trying to access this method using the reference variable or the instance of the employee class. So will this allow me? No, this will not allow me. And what error it is giving me? The method emp salary details is undefined for the type employee. That means this method emp salary details is not the property of the employee. We have not defined, so it is undefined for the type employee, and where it is defined inside the identifier class. So what I'll do here is, instead of this, I will have to create the object of identifiers class. And how will I do that? And I have to do that inside the main method itself. Okay, so I have to write the class name, which is identifiers, in which that method is residing. So I just say, sorry guys, it's identifiers. Okay, this is my class name. And then what else? I'll just give the reference variable name. So I'll say let's say let's say ID. Okay, and we will write equals to, and the moment I write new, it and identifiers and the constructor of identifier class, what it will do, it will allocate Java memory to the object of identifiers class. Okay, so remember this diagram. Here the object will be created inside the Java memory the moment you write new identifiers. This is the identifiers object, and inside this identifiers object, it will have all the properties that we declared or defined in identifiers class, all the methods, all the variables. Okay, so it will store that inside the object. And sorry guys, this is the reference variable of the object. This is referring to this object, which is of identifier type, and its name is, this time it's ID. Okay, so I won't change this, I'll show it over here. This time it's ID. So ID is the address or the instance of this identifiers class object, and using this reference variable, which is ID, I can access the properties of identifiers class. So now you can see all the properties of identifiers class, salary details, and all the other variables. So I'll just select this, and now it should print me this statement. This is another class. Okay, along with everything that I have written previously. So let's run this. So see, I have welcome to employee class. I have the value 90 going. This is another class. So this is all about the creating the object of the particular class and accessing the properties of that class using the reference variable or instance of that object. If you like my video, you just need to click on a like button, subscribe to my channel guys, so that I get motivation to upload more videos. And if you have any query, just drop in your query in the comments box and I'll answer all your queries. And if you have any feedback, that also you are okay to give. And see you in the next video. Till then, you have a great day. Stay healthy, stay safe. Goodbye.